Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm back with a product called the Baker's Edge Pan. It's been around for a long time. It was on Shark Tank, other TV shows. Got a lot of requests for it over the years. It's supposedly a pan that provides a more chewy brownie experience than the normal pan. But is it worth the $55 price tag that I paid for it? Let's find out in today's video, starting with the unboxing. All right, let's take a look at the Baker's Edge Brownie Pan. I paid 55 bucks for this on Amazon. It's currently got a 4.8 star rating, and it's an Amazon's choice. There we go. Very nice, nice display here, nice packaging. We have some nice full color instructions, very nice. We have a very small spatula. All right, we'll just pick it up the first. It's very heavy. I can tell this is well built. Now the claims are that it's a pan for those who love brownie edges. It adds 2 chewy edges to every brownie. The interior walls circulate heat evenly. This one's been on Shark Tank, Oprah, Martha Stewart, CBS Early Show, NBC Today Show, and more. They say it's ideal for box mixes calling for a 9x13 baking pan. I'll have to clean this off, read these over, and then get started. All right, so I read over the instructions, I cleaned it off, I think we're ready to get started. Now the instructions state that it's ideal for any mixes that require a 9x13 pan. So I went to the brownie mix aisle in the grocery store and I found one of them that requires a 9x13 pan, so we're gonna go with that. For my first test, I'm gonna do a boxed mix from the store, and for my second one, I'm gonna use one of their recipes. So the first thing I do is prepare the Betty Crocker mix and then pour it in the pan. All right, so we've got the brownie mix made, we've got the ovens preheating. Now their recipes do call for the pan to get sprayed with nonstick spray, so I'm gonna do that next. They do say it's nonstick, but they say to spray it anyways, so we shall see. Now pour the brownie mix in the pan. Now one of the Amazon commenters were saying that it was kind of difficult to spread, so I just kind of poured it in here without really trying to spread it much. Let's see how difficult this is to spread. It doesn't seem like it would be that tough. It's gonna be a pretty thin layer, I can already tell though. I mean, the fact that it's so thick makes it a little bit more difficult to spread. I don't know if it's that bad or not though. All right, this is what we got. This is what we're going with. The oven's preheated, so we gotta toss it in there. Now, according to the box here, it says 19 to 22 minutes if you're using a 9x13 pan, which I'm assuming that's what this is supposed to be. And they say if it's a nonstick pan, to shorten the bake time by 3 minutes. So I'm gonna go on the low end of the time and pull it out after 19 minutes. So here we go. I'll be curious how this turns out in about 19 minutes. All right, so it's in the oven, the timer set, so all we have to do now is wait. Let's take a look here. Toothpick test. Toothpick's looking good. Time to come out of here. All right, so right out of the oven, it looks pretty good. Let's let this cool before our first cut and taste test, but so far the cooking experience went pretty well, but that's only half the battle. As soon as it cools off, we'll give it a shot. Now for the big reveal, the brownies have cooled off. Let's see how they turned out. Here we are, they look nice. Not only does it look good, but it does seem like the batter did eventually even out in the pan, so I don't think there was an unevenness problem. And Bailey's right there, she wants some. But I'm sorry, Bailey, you can't have this. You can't have it, Bailey, I'm sorry. But let's try their spatula and see what we got here. I like the spatula because it just fits each brownie shape, so it's pretty cool. So if you get one of these ends, that's 3-sided, the rest of them will be 2-sided. The 3-edged brownie. Here we go. I think it's only fair as part of this review to eat all 3 edges just for educational purposes. So here we go. Good. So that turned out perfectly, just like you would hope they would. 3 of the edges were nice and chewy, so I'm gonna take all the brownies out of here, clean this off, and tomorrow I'll make one of their recipes and see how that turns out. All right, it is day number 2, but I finished off day number 1 by lifting all the brownies out of there. They lifted out very nicely, very easily. The nonstick surface was pretty good. I put it in the sink full of soapy water and washed it out, and it went without a hitch. So today I'm gonna do one of their recipes, which is right here. This one's a much bigger batch. I think it's gonna take about 35 to 40 minutes. First thing I have to do is get the batter together, and then we'll start cooking. 5 ounces of unsweetened chocolate with 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter, melted over a double boiler. Next up, stir in the sugar, 2 1/4 cups. 3 eggs, vanilla extract, 1 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of chocolate chips. This is what we got. It's looking pretty good. Now it's time to spread it in the pan. It's time for the star of the show, which has been sprayed with cooking spray. batter last time seemed to even out on its own, so I'm not gonna go too crazy trying to make it perfect. It does look like it's pretty even right now though. All right, my beautiful creation is ready to throw in the oven. According to this, it's gonna take 35 to 40 minutes, unless of course the toothpick says otherwise. There you go. Now it's time to wait. I got about a half hour to wait. I'll be curious how these turn out. This is a much bigger batch, much longer cook time, so we shall see. Well, they look pretty good. Let's try the old toothpick test here. Toothpick test, looking pretty good. I think I'm ready to come out of here. All right, so there we go. It looks pretty good. I can't wait to cool this off and try it. Bailey thinks she's getting some, but she's not. Sorry, Bailey. All right, the brownies have cooled off. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Armed with my spatula, let's cut into it and see what happens. I mean, the final result does look pretty good. Let's cut into one of these here. There we go. 3 beautiful edge pieces. Look at that. Time for the final taste test. And by the way, in the recipe guide, this was called Chef Emily's Ultimate Brownies. That was the recipe I used. This is the Chef Emily, and this is one out of the box. You can see the recipe is much thicker. Now it's time for the taste test. Here we go. Those edges are pretty good. I'm gonna eat the rest of this brownie since I already started it. I'm gonna take the rest of the brownies out of the pan and then give you my final conclusion. All right, so in the end, I would say it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It creates brownies with 2 or 3 chewy edges, and it works quite well. I even like the nonstick surface, and even the spatula, which seems like it's well suited toward that pan. I should point out you can use this for other things, such as mac and cheese or pies or anything you want a crusty edge on, but I stuck to brownies because that's what it's sold for. I pretty much like everything about it, except for the price. 55 bucks is what I paid, and that seems pretty steep. But if you can get around that, it does work pretty well. My only question now is, who's gonna help me eat all these? But that's all I've got. If you've tried the baker's edge or something like it, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.